Vinicius Oliveira versus Said Nurmagomedov was heat. Okay? Heat. Vinicius is a guy that I was already somewhat high on and very excited to see. And Said is a guy that I had a lot of faith in to be very finish capable. And I think both of those things, I was very happy with what I saw in it reinforcing my standpoints on that. Absolutely. Like, Said went for multiple submission attempts brutally as well. Like, it was early in the fight before he was a bit tired. And Vinicius does his thing just as I expect. Brutal striking, super dynamic, great takedown defense. And the main thing about this fight, just overall, it was very fun. Just non-stop, ridiculous. They're both hands down by their waist, just swinging shit at each other. By the end of the second round, they're both exhausted. Okay? So the third round was much slower, but still very fun, might I add. This got fight of the night, rightfully so. I gave this fight of the night as well. This or Fares Young versus Mike Davis. But man, there's just something that needs to be said about the fact of, I know it's a bit of a cliche thing to mention injuries and stuff like that, and the fighter who having fought through them or whatever, or he lost because of his injuries, yada yada yada. But dude, Vinicius says he injured his rib months ago, and the injury popped back up again 10 days before the event, to the degree that he said, I couldn't breathe and I couldn't walk, but something inside me was telling me, don't pull out of this fight. This is just, the words he used was like, I know that the people would want me there, that the fans would, the audience would appreciate this. And he's right. But he also, I could tell that he's giving a bit more of a something inside me just told me that you can still do this. And one, that's mental, to have a rib injury that you can barely fucking go through, walk through, and be like, you know what, I will fight this guy. Two, he made it throughout the entire fight without making it obvious at all that he was injured. And the moment the fight ended, the final bell rings, he literally gripped his rib and started like almost crying. He's like, like as if he's just poker faced for 17 minutes, 3 5-minute rounds and 2 1-minute breaks. I didn't pay attention to what was happening in his corner during the gaps in the rounds, so maybe he, I believe he did mention a injury at some point, and the commentary pointed that out, but I had no idea that he was in pain the entire time. And he's literally just poker facing the entire fight, okay? Thirdly, not only was he doing that through the entire fight, but we're talking about a rib injury, okay? You feel that with every movement, with every punch thrown, with every kick thrown, with every sprawl of a takedown, with every takedown you shoot, you feel that shit moving. You feel your abs tightening around it. You feel your chest tightening down onto it when you're squeezing. Everything is movement in your ribs. So, like such a commonly active part of the body during fighting. Fourthly, he, on multiple occasions, got like, Said's a great striker, and he's a very, very good, I guess, yeah, Taekwondo kind of striker. He's got really good kicks, okay? Multiple times, Vinicius just ate with a straight face. At least I did not see any wincing or expression change. With a straight face, ate spinning back kicks to the body. And he's got a broken or fractured or bruised something rib. You're getting booted in the stomach on your ribs when you have an injury there by a Nurmagomedov. Okay, that name is starting to hold less and less value as in 2025, 100%. But to just poker face that shit, to me that's mental. Incredibly impressive. I was already like, At the end of the fight, I was like, wow, yep, this guy's fucking kept me as a fan. And then he starts wincing and going, oh, and I was like, oh wow, he's really hurt. And he just poker faced the whole fight. And then he goes on to the interview and explains that he's had this injury for ages, and he got it again in the lead up to the fight and decided not to pull out. And then it popped into my head, like, hold on a fucking second, he was getting booted in the fucking stomach. Like, I think in every round, Saeed landed a spinning back kick to the body, or a body kick, or a teep kick to the stomach of Vinicius. I think that happened in every single round. And he just fought through it. And arguably, kind of crazy that if that's the case and he is injured, you're going to get more and more injured the longer you're fighting. And you're going to become more and more likely to give in to the pain, likely to start to slow down and be like, I'm not willing to make myself go through these massive, sharp, digging pains with these big movements as often. I'm going to do much less output in this third round. He got faster as the round went on in the second round. So in the first round he loses, and in the second round he picks it up and gets better and faster and wins the second round. And then in the third round he had worn Saeed down enough that he could maintain that pace even a little bit slower and still beat Saeed. But that is just absurd to me. So I was already really, really high on this guy. I'm very high on him. Saeed, I will say as well, was very fun in this fight. Looked really good as well. Got very tired, but it was a high-paced fight, and there was a lot of output. So I can't necessarily blame him, but I think it's worth noting that the Nurmagomedov cardio, not even just Nurmagomedov, the Dagestan cardio is becoming less and less of a boogeyman kind of trait or attribute to have. I think it's not a Dagestan thing. It's a Khabib thing. Khabib was the only one that had just the infinite cardio. And even Islam is on that level of having like ridiculous cardio, but we've still seen him broken at times. Like in the Volk fight, obviously there's the weight cut issues, blah, blah. And even in the Poirier fight, he looked a bit tired towards the end of that fight, but it was a grueling fight. But still, compared to other fighters, Islam is very, very good at managing energy and keeping himself capable of outputting at a very high level in the fourth and fifth rounds of a fight. But it's just them two, in my opinion. Umar doesn't have that. He has good cardio, don't get me wrong. I hate how much people are hating on Umar for that fight with Merab. Merab is the cardio guy. For him to have gone to a decision with him at that high of a pace and win 2 rounds is mental. Okay? But still, Umar, we see, towards the end of the fight, he just couldn't continue. The cardio was he just had nothing left in the system, basically. And Paul Hughes versus Usman Nurmagomedov was a similar thing. End of the fight, Usman is fucking dejected and very tired and worn the fuck out. Weird to see. And then in this fight, Saeed is a guy that's already got a couple losses on his record anyway, and he's not actually Nurmagomedov. Nurmagomedov is just from the same village. And he got tired at the end of this fight. Even in the second round, he got tired. Him and Vinicius were both looking very tired in that second round, but these guys have been training their whole fucking lives since they were kids, bro. Wrestling, cardio-based workouts. They're getting tired with some of these guys that probably didn't do it that long. They probably started jiu-jitsu when they were 11 or something and then decided to learn how to strike when they were in high school, like 16 or something like that, you know? These Brazilian guys, like they do combat sports for a lot of their life, but they're not crazy output cardio guys, the same way that the Russian wrestling guys are and pride themselves on being. So it's interesting. But Vinicius Oliveira, God, you fucking made me a happy man tonight. And yeah, just continue. I can't wait to see his fucking next fight, man. Thank you guys for being here. And I'll see you guys all in the next Mixed Martial Arts video. Goodbye.